Hey everyone, this is just a quick video of a breakdown of the course and how to navigate D2L, as well as how we are going to determine your grade in this course. So a couple of things. Number one, here's the homepage. You'll see me post some kind of news or announcement at least once a week, okay, typically on a Monday. So for this week, for most of you, I've seen that you guys have already seen this. This week we're just looking at completing these couple things for our orientation, course introduction, student info survey, as well as completing 2 discussion posts and signing up for Delta Math. Okay, we're going to go through a lot of this in the nav bar up top. So course home just leads us to the home page. Content, that's where you'll access a lot of the content of this course. Okay, but for this week we're really just working on the orientation. If I were to click on the course calendar, so I'm going to start up here top right. If you click on the course calendar, it shows you what our pacing guide should roughly look like, what our plan is. Okay, so you should see here that this first week we're really just working on our D2L orientation, and then going through understanding how you're going to get your mark in this course, and that's what this video is all about. Okay. Alright, so that's the course calendar. This will change as things change, but for the most part it's fairly accurate for the entire semester. In fact, going back to it, you'll see that it's got everything covered till June. Okay, so the whole course is covered. I believe May 17th is full disclosure, so I'll just double check those dates. Okay, and this is supposed to say 2026, not 2023. I have modified it. Okay. Alright, now going back to our homepage, we'll see Delta Math. This is where you access Delta Math. For those of you who are unfamiliar, once you log into Delta Math, or once you click that link, you just log in or sign in. Okay. So in my case, it's not going to let me sign in there because I'm not a student. So let me just log in real quick, and then I'll show you what Delta Math looks like. So Delta Math is going to be ongoing for you guys. So let's see, Delta Math class number 1. Okay. So a second here. Okay, so here's an example of an activity. Okay, you answer that question, you get it right, great. If not, that's fine. So let's say I were to say the answer here is 34. I submit it. It's going to be wrong. It's going to tell you how to solve it. Okay, and tell you that your answer is supposed to be about 55, and you could try it again until you get perfect. So it is very getting 100 on Delta Math tasks is very, very achievable. Okay, now I'm going to jump back here to the course content so we can kind of go through the syllabus. So this video is going to be posted here under the course overview video. Okay. Whoops.
Have watched.
Okay. And then there's a course outline. So I'm going to open up the course outline, and you'll see that this is the breakdown of the course. Okay. 30% of the course here is going to be your culminating task in your exam, and then the remaining 70 consists of 10 weekly quizzes. I know it says tests, but it's really quizzes, Delta Math, 6 assignments, and your overall observation conversation, which accounts for 16%, includes 6 discussion posts throughout the course. And I need to change this. It's not really a Google Docs study notes anymore. It's called a lesson note submission, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. If you go to Dropbox, okay, you see there's a lesson notes Dropbox submission. Okay, and if I go to grades, let me just put view as student grades, and then you'll see, okay, this is how your grade is broken down, with 6 assignments at 4% each, 10 quizzes at 2% each. Okay, observation conversation, lesson notes, which I'm about to show you, as well as 6 discussion posts, 10 Delta Math tasks, each worth about 1%, a culminating task, which is worth 15, and the exam's worth 15. I know in the syllabus it said 10 and 20. I'm going to change that and get it's 15 for the culminating, 15 for the exam, which obviously will happen later on in the semester. Okay, so what's this lesson notes thing worth 10% of your overall grade? This thing. So what that is as you are going through the course, so for example, let me just view it. You can't see the lessons yet because they will be available closer to the end of the week. So lesson number 1, let's say, here's what the first lesson would look like, okay? Here's the notes. If I click the note, you'll see this is the note you're going to work on. You're going to fill this out, okay? How do you fill it out? Well, based on the sheet that was attached, okay? Now, on top of that, I've also recorded a video, so if I click it, teaching that exact same lesson. Okay, so if you click it, let me just fast forward it a bit, so I can skip the intro stuff, okay? You can skip the first 55 seconds, because I've recorded this video in the past, okay? But it's the same lesson, and then it goes through, it will teach that exact same lesson, okay? And then some extra help videos. Now, as you're going through it, you're going to write notes in your own notes, whether it be on Google Docs or a scrap piece of paper, okay? Doesn't matter. But as you do that, okay, you are going to submit it under lesson note submission. And this is just a way for me to keep track of you, or you showing me that you are indeed doing work and not just blindly clicking quizzes and assignments, okay? So as you submit it, this is how you're going to be graded on it. You are going to submit it for each lesson, and then this is the rubric, okay, where a level 4 means everything's titled and clean, notes are clean. So here's just a sample one. Obviously this is not a level 4 example, but it's a example. Loading. Loading. Okay, as it's loading, you'll see that I'm looking for format, which is worth 4 marks. Everything's titled and labeled, notes are clean. Bonus marks if titles and dates are easy to read, okay? Note content, notes are detailed and comprehensive, evident that you've gone through the notes, okay? And not just copying and pasting. Practice questions, because there's going to be practice questions on the attached lessons, showing that you've done them. And submission format, making sure that when you submit them, it's labeled as Lesson 1A or Lesson 1 Trigonometry, as opposed to some random set of numbers or some file that I won't be able to tell what that file submission is. Because by the end of this course, you're going to have a lot of submissions in this Dropbox. So it would be very hard for me to navigate unless it's properly labeled. So just as an example, where is it? So day 1, primary trig ratios, and the date, February 9th, and then just notes that you have copied down from the lesson itself, okay? What you could do is also submit the lesson itself, which is could be found on D12. So what you could also do is, now you don't have to, but this lesson, as you're filling it in, okay, you could submit this file as well, okay? But I know not everyone's going to want to complete everything here because you might know some of this stuff already. So simplified notes such as these ones, which are obviously note-taking skills, are important to be successful in a math class. That's what you will submit in our Dropbox. Okay. Yeah. So let's save and close. So that accounts for 10% of your overall mark. Okay. So I know I've already went through grades, but just to kind of show you again. You're going to have 6 assignments, 4% each, 10 quizzes, 2% each, 16% for observation and conversations, which means 10% for your lesson notes, and 6% for your discussion posts, 10 Delta Maths, culminating tasks, final exam. Okay, that's pretty much how the course operates. So if I were you, once the lessons open up, this is what a typical day for a student in this class should look like. I click the course calendar. I go to today's date, primary trig ratio, side lengths. I go to that lesson, Unit 1. Primary trig ratios, Lesson 1. I open up the blank copy. I could either have notes ready to go or print this out, up to you. You can write directly on it as well. Look at my solutions. click the video, follow along the video to fill out said sheet. Go through extra help if you need it. Okay, and then once I'm done that, I'm going to submit it under Dropbox. I'll go to Dropbox, go down to Lesson Notes Dropbox submission, submit what I just did today. Okay, and then go to whatever other stuff that might be down here. It says don't forget about your Delta Math. Okay, and then you can choose to work on that. It's not due today, so you don't have to, but if you choose to work ahead, you can. Okay, and that'll be done. And then rinse, repeat. And then of course on days with quizzes and tests, they will show up. So right now you shouldn't be able to see any quizzes. Nope, but they will show up as the course goes on. Dropbox, you should only be able to see your Lesson Notes Dropbox submission and your Delta Math. I'm pretty sure that you should be able to see all the Delta Math, all 10 tasks, if you want to work ahead. Okay? Any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Take care now. Bye-bye.